Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is July 18th, and right now we are looking at the visible satellite imagery. As of yesterday morning here, you can see the upper level low bringing the clouds and monsoon moisture back up across the Pacific Northwest. And if I put this into motion, you can see this scroll up and across the region during the day yesterday. Had quite a few lightning strikes across the Cascades of Washington, eastern Washington as well. Had some dust storms out there. And Ritzville, Washington had the visibility dropped substantially with some gusty winds and blowing dust. And you can see all the fire activity across portions of Oregon as well. Go through the sunset period, you can see the Pioneer fire up here. It looks like some additional fires maybe north of that firing up. Hot spot activity there shown on the GOES 18 satellite. And look at this fire across British Columbia. I'm not sure the name of that one just yet, but no doubt producing a lot of smoke as we go back in towards this morning. You can see it out there, that smoke drifting around. You can also see the marine layer punching into the Willamette Valley, the coastal ranges here, creeping in towards the Olympic Mountains and Vancouver Island, and even into the Puget Sound out there. I live on the Puget Sound as well, and I could feel a little bit more chill in the air versus some of the previous warnings here, so I will gladly take it. But we're in the middle of a pretty exceptional warm streak here for Seattle, as we're on, I think, the 14th straight day of 80-degree plus weather, and we have a few more days to go coming up here. So we're also going to take a look at the extended forecast. We got some troughing that's going to try to move in here, and we've got some drama here in the weather community that I'm going to address here and kind of show you guys what's up on the last system here. We have some people claiming that this was not monsoon moisture that came back up over the region, but myself, other meteorologists in the area, and the National Weather Service across many different locations disagrees with that, and I'm going to show you what's going on here. So we're going to scroll through what happened yesterday, and now we're going to stop this, and I'm going to scroll back a little bit here. This is July 13th, and you can see clearly this is monsoon moisture up across California into Oregon here, and this is the upper level low that merged with that monsoon moisture here and shunted some of that up across the Pacific Northwest. If I put this into motion, you can see this monsoon moisture as we go on in through July 14th. And the 15th, you can see increased convection here as we go through. I believe this is on the nighttime of the 15th here. And then you see the upper level low merges with some of that moisture here and brings it back up across Oregon. That was a monsoon moisture in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere that helped kick off this elevated instability here across the region. So no doubt monsoon moisture here as we went through the last couple of days. Now, if we take a look for the Storm Prediction Center here, they clearly mentioned the monsoon moisture, the plume of monsoonal moisture between 700 and 500 millibars, about 10 and 18,000 feet, evident on the satellite imagery that I just showed you, spreading north into the Pacific Northwest. So clearly monsoon moisture here. So if you want to check out the drama, you can watch it going on my X feed there, or Twitter feed, whatever you want to call it. And also individual forecast offices like Medford, Oregon mentioned the monsoon moisture. Pendleton, Oregon mentioned it. And then Eureka, California also talking about the healthy plume of mid-level monsoon moisture that currently moving in from the south. And yeah, this was guided northward by that low pressure system that approached the coastline here. So anyway, back to the weather for a bit here. Taking a look today, the isolated dry thunderstorm threat, Butte, Montana, some portions of southeast Idaho, and this is for day 2, just outside of Boise here as well. So again, that thunderstorm activity is pushing off to the east here, not expecting thunderstorms across the Cascades of Washington and Oregon today. And we've got a pretty impressive heat wave coming up here and kind of ongoing here across eastern Washington. Look at Ritzville coming in at 108 here by the time we get towards Sunday. Lewiston 111, just some very warm temperatures out there. But the good news is we have somewhat of a cool down starting to loom here at the end of the forecast run starting about July 23rd. And this is Pendleton, Oregon as well, talking about that major heat out there also. So you guys know the drill: hydrate, take breaks, especially if you're outside. That was issued this morning here by Pendleton National Weather Service. So I believe this is the 14th straight day for SeaTac 80 plus here starting on July 4th. 83 officially yesterday. The average high for this time of year, 78 degrees. Not going to hit any record highs, but definitely an impressive stretch here. I think the all-time record high is 15 days of 80 plus for Seattle, and we're most likely going to break that. I'll show you some of those temperatures here in a moment, but we do have a nice cool down coming, so stay tuned for that as well. And if you want a nice affordable home weather station, this thing detects its own detects lightning for you at your individual location, builds its forecast for you as well, and you can view that, and it updates it all the time. And you can see it stores these individual parameters in the cloud here, and you can graph those out. And you can take a look here. I clicked on this one here off to the south and east of Moses Lake, and you can see the lightning distance detected yesterday. And of course, as the thunderstorms came up across the region, these stations were going crazy, detecting that lightning coming up across the area. It tells you when it occurred and how far it was away from your station. So very fun stuff when you get storms across the region. It's a tractive unit as well, nice, more smartphone app. You don't even have to open the app, just have the widget to show you the thermometer out there before you even head out of your house. So yeah, if you want to click on the link down below to save 10% off, go ahead and do so. Highly recommend that station. So looking at today, the North American model composite reflectivity, you can see that we are not going to be dealing with the same thunderstorm activity that we had yesterday. Upper level low is kind of a distant memory here. You can see some thunderstorm activity here across portions of maybe the Rocky Mountains and some of Idaho and western Montana there a bit. But yeah, no precipitation expected in the short term for places like Seattle, Portland, Cascades, and a lot of British Columbia also. So coming up here as well, I want to kind of show you that we have an additional plume of monsoon moisture. You can see it coming up across some of the desert southwest out here, and this may move back up across the region, triggering some lightning strikes again across the areas here, but mainly off to the east and across portions of Oregon. I'll show you some of that here at the end of the video here this morning. Now, taking a look at the European on the left versus GFS on the right, let's go ahead and take a look at the extended forecast because we got some interesting stuff showing up here as well. So as we scroll on in towards this weekend, you can see we're going to remain very warm across especially places east of the Cascades as we go through the weekend. But then you can see this next trough starts to swing in here as we go through Monday night and on into Tuesday. GFS and the European both in good agreement for that trough here because that ridge axis gets pushed off to the east across portions of Montana here. And you can see both models want to hang this troughing out here for a while. So this would be very nice for late July here. It would bring some seasonally cool temperatures. And if we're really lucky, some places might get some precipitation, but it also could kick up some winds and kind of fan those flames out there with all the fires burning. So we'll go ahead and watch that. But you can see the troughing on both models kind of hangs out all the way through the 10, 11, 12 day time period. Now looking at today, it's going to kind of show you where we're dealing with thunderstorm activity here. It does include places just east of Spokane, some of northeast Washington, and maybe some of the Rocky Mountains of British Columbia here. But you can see, again, not across the Cascades of Washington or Oregon. And as we go through this evening here, it kind of pushes off to the east. And this is officially the storm prediction thunderstorm outlook here for today. And then for tomorrow, it does include Boise still, though. Now, look at the GFS here. This is a last night's run here. And you can see Seattle talking about some mid-80s again here for the next several days. And it probably ends on Sunday. So we're going to put an end to that streak. So this will be 15, 16, 17, 18 straight days. That would beat the old all-time record of 15 straight days of 80 plus for Seattle, and I will welcome that cool down here. And I know the mossbacks here across Pacific Northwest will love it because many areas are going to get much colder, and I'm going to show you more on that here in a moment. But first, let's take a look at the daily 2-meter max. This is for today. Look at eastern Washington, just still sizzling over there. Eastern Oregon, Willamette Valley, upper 80s. Here we go tomorrow, perhaps 90 for Portland, some of the Willamette Valley, and again, very warm east of the Cascades, and pretty darn right warm here for Southwest BC. And Seattle as well. And then we go through Saturday. Look at this bump in the temperatures up some mid-90s for the Willamette Valley. And then look at Sunday. You got some temperatures approaching 110 degrees here for eastern Washington. Eastern Oregon continues to bake. Even some upper 80s showing up for Southwest BC and some of Vancouver Island, mid and upper 80s also. And then we go Monday and we start that cool down, but not quite yet for eastern Washington. But by Tuesday, you'll notice the temperature drop there as well. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, much more seasonable temperatures incoming here as we go through the following week. So if we take a look at the GFS, I kind of stopped it here for Monday, and you can see the 24-hour temperature change. Look at across some of the Cascades, 28, 30 degree drop over a 24-hour period. You're definitely going to feel that cool down coming here as we go on in through Monday, and you can see that continue to push off for mainly as we go on in through Tuesday morning here for eastern Washington, eastern Oregon. So yeah, very nice cool down kind of showing up here in the model runs here, and that's something we'll be watching here closely over the next few days. 6 to 10 day ridge axis pushes off to the east, a little bit of sliver of below normal here showing up as we go through the end of July. We'll see again how that works out. And this is the 6 to 10 day little sliver there across some of western Washington, extreme northwest Oregon. Now this is looking at, let me see if this is going to update here. They usually update it right around this time. But you can see as we go through this weekend, NW 6, 7, 8, 11, and 12. So a lot of eastern Oregon could be subject to more monsoon moisture coming up from the south there as we go through the Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday time period here. So yeah, and there's a lot of fires burning out there right now, and some of these are just now getting going from the lightning strikes that were going on the last couple of days. Same with Washington Cascades, so kind of have your head on a swivel for that. Watch out for the new fire development out there, and hopefully we're not going to start producing a whole bunch of smoke. But you can see a lot of areas are still in the moderate and elevated risk, even when not dealing with that lightning threat. So yeah, anyway, heads up for that. And this is the drought monitor. This was issued, I believe, yes, today, and you can see there is some drought across Oregon now. There's some moderate, and there is even some severe across the east slopes of the Cascades of Washington here, abnormally dry across other areas, and it looks like some extreme was reintroduced across portions of western Montana as well. Natural process here, but it's noteworthy. Here's the U.S. seasonal drought outlook. This was issued today as well. You can see the yellow is drought development likely, Cascades eastbound there, and you can see drought persisting here for portions of Washington, Oregon as we go. And this goes all the way on in through October coming up here. So yeah, we do have some drought concerns out there, and drought removal is actually likely here across some of northwest Washington also. Got to point that out. But yeah, interesting stuff. Active day there yesterday. I went out towards Snoqualmie Pass and we saw some cool clouds and whatnot with that upper level monsoon moisture moving across the region, but we did not get the lightning strikes I was hoping for. It kind of happened more over eastern Washington and the northern Cascades that targeted a little better. And kind of south, also near Mount Rainier, Highway 410, some good lightning strikes were showing up there also. In fact, let's just put this on here so we can kind of take a look at that. And you can see as this moisture moved up, all the lightning strikes that it produced across eastern Washington, the northern Cascades, the Rocky Mountains there. And this really kicked off some blowing dust across eastern Washington. You can see they went into the overnight hours a bit as well, across the Idaho Panhandle and on into western Montana. And you can see where the upper level low clearly is right there, wrapping some smoke back around into it here and kicking off quite a bit of lightning here this morning across portions of Alberta and some of the Rocky Mountains of Montana as well. But anyway, hope you guys are liking the videos. It's free to click that subscribe button down below, and if you want to monetarily support the channel, click on that join button down below as well. And I'm also going to open a Patreon page here as well, because I've had people asking about that. So I'm going to go ahead and just get on that today and probably get that out here quickly for people who want to help support the page. This page is not possible without you guys. You know, we're up over, what, 63,000 subscribers now. It's been more successful than my wildest dreams. You know, it's just kind of a testament to just how tightly knit here the weather community is here across Pacific Northwest. You got a lot of intelligent people commenting. Obviously, you guys, a lot of you guys know, you know, your stuff here as far as meteorology is concerned across the region. But anyway, the channel is not possible without you. Again, thanks to all my members, you know, that support the channel here. You know, I owe you guys a debt of gratitude. And again, you make this all possible. So anyway, we'll do this all again tomorrow. Hope you guys are having a good day otherwise, and I will talk to you guys then.